If you've ever found yourself rationing the last handful of ice from a sad, half-empty freezer tray in the middle of summer, you already know the pain. But here's the thing, not all ice is created equal, and once you try Nugget Ice, that soft, chewable, flavor-absorbing stuff you get at your favorite drive-thru, regular cubes feel like chewing on decorative rocks. The good news is you don't need a commercial setup anymore. Countertop Nugget ice makers have completely changed the game, and I've spent a ridiculous amount of time digging into what's actually worth your money. I've got 7 machines lined up today, from high-tech powerhouses to compact workhorses, and every single link is down in the description. Let's dive in. Starting strong with the GoveeLife Smart Nugget Ice Maker Pro, and this one set the bar so high I almost felt bad for everything that came after it. 60 pounds of ice per day, enough to keep a full backyard party going without breaking a sweat. First batch drops in 6 minutes, so you go from an empty machine to clinking glasses before guests finish saying hello. What really separates it from the pack is AI Noise Guard. Most nugget makers develop that awful squealing sound over time because ice builds up on the evaporator and the auger grinds through it. The GoveeLife detects that friction and triggers a micro defrost to clear it before the noise even starts, keeping things around 40 decibels. Quieter than a normal conversation. App control, Alexa, Google Assistant, scheduled production, automated cleaning, dual water tanks that let you make over 15 pounds before refilling. Now, this is a substantial piece of equipment at close to 50 pounds, so once you pick a counter spot, that's where it lives. The design leans into a tech-forward look with RGB lighting and digital displays, so if your kitchen is more farmhouse or minimalist, it might stand out a bit. But for frequent hosts and smart home lovers who want massive output with zero noise drama, this is the one to beat. If volume isn't your top priority and you'd rather have something simpler, the Ecozy Nugget Ice Maker is a completely different animal. 44 pounds per day, first batch in 7 to 9 minutes, noticeably compact footprint that tucks under standard cabinets easily. The ice comes out softer and crumblier than competitors, almost slushy-like, and that's actually by design. The extrusion uses less pressure, so nuggets are airier and gentler. If you've got sensitive teeth or dental work, this is a genuine lifesaver because you can chew through it effortlessly without that jarring crunch. It even monitors your water quality in real time with a built-in sensor, which is a feature I rarely see at this tier. The softer texture does melt a bit faster in a glass, making it phenomenal for iced coffee or anything you'll drink quickly, though maybe not your first choice for a cocktail you want to nurse slowly. Cleaning is refreshingly straightforward too, because the simpler internals mean fewer hidden spots for buildup. For families who want reliable, chewable ice daily without fussing over maintenance, this nails it. Here's where things get interesting because the GE Profile Opal 2.0 Ultra is basically the machine that started this whole countertop nugget craze. And the ice it produces? Unmatched. Firm, slow-melting, perfectly shaped nuggets that look and taste like what you'd get at a high-end restaurant. The stainless steel body is gorgeous with warm internal lighting that makes it look like a luxury showpiece, and the Smart HQ app gives full remote control. You can even plumb it directly into your water line for a completely hands-off setup. About 38 pounds per day with an optional side tank for fewer refills. So, what's the catch? This machine asks for your commitment. The tight tolerances that produce that incredible ice also make it more sensitive to mineral buildup than anything else here. Long-term owners who keep theirs running flawlessly all share the same secret: distilled or reverse osmosis water exclusively, and disciplined descaling. Give it that care and it rewards you with the best ice texture money can buy. Compared to the GoveeLife, the Opal trades raw output and smart noise prevention for pure ice perfection and kitchen elegance, so it really comes down to what matters more to you. But what if you just want nugget ice without the premium commitment? The Silonn Slim 41T answers that with a straight face. 40 pounds daily, a generous 3-liter tank, first ice in 6 minutes, and basic app control, all at a price point dramatically lower than anything above. Think of it as the pickup truck of ice makers. Not fancy, but it hauls. The nuggets come out a bit cloudier because the aggressive freezing cycle traps tiny air pockets inside. Purely cosmetic. Tastes exactly the same. If you're dropping these into a thermos of sweet tea or a protein shake, you'd never notice. The machine does make its presence known acoustically, especially during harvesting, so it's happiest in a garage bar, basement, or dorm rather than a silent open kitchen. Ice can also clump in the basket after sitting, but a quick shake separates everything right away. For serious output without overthinking the budget, this delivers. Okay, now meet the machine that ice enthusiast communities call the sweet spot, and I think they're right. The Euhomy Nugget ice maker puts out around 34 pounds per day, first batch in 6 to 8 minutes, and it runs remarkably quietly. But not for the reason you'd expect. The dominant sound is just the cooling fan, this steady low hum that blends into the background like white noise instead of the mechanical grinding you hear from other auger machines. The fully removable top cover is a small design choice that makes a huge difference. You can reach straight down into the reservoir to clean everything instead of contorting your hand through some tiny opening. Solid, chewable nuggets with great structure. The basket isn't actively refrigerated, so ice will gradually melt if it sits for a few hours, but here's the clever part. That water recirculates and gets frozen again automatically, so nothing goes to waste and the machine keeps refreshing its own supply. Picture this. You come home after a long day, walk into the kitchen and scoop perfect nugget ice straight from the top of a machine that's been quietly humming along all afternoon without you lifting a finger. That's the Euhomy experience, and for most households, it's genuinely all you need. For a completely different situation, the Kismile HZB15DN is built for people who measure counter space in inches, not feet. This thing is tiny, under 9 inches deep, and it still cranks out 33 to 35 pounds daily at around 43 decibels. One-touch operation, a 15-minute self-cleaning cycle, and the ice texture hits that perfect middle ground where the nuggets are soft enough to chew easily but firm enough to hold their shape in a drink. If you're in a studio apartment, a small office, or anywhere a full-size machine just won't fit, this goes where others can't. Storage is on the smaller side, so it's best for 1 or 2 people rather than a crowd, and I'd recommend grabbing it through a major retailer with a solid return policy. Smaller brands can sometimes lag on customer support, and buying smart upfront keeps you covered. And finally, a word about the Fat Hole Nugget 776. On paper, tempting specs, 40 pounds per day, 5 to 8 minute first batch, stainless steel exterior, self-cleaning, and a noticeably lower price than everything with similar claims. I get the appeal, but nugget ice makers are mechanically demanding machines. That auger constantly scrapes frozen sheets off a chilled cylinder under serious pressure, and that requires robust internal components. When you see a dramatic price drop in this category, the savings usually come from the drivetrain. Lighter alloys, thinner parts, pieces that aren't built for the long haul. It can work for a camping weekend or a single party, but for everyday home use, the established options here give you far more confidence. Sometimes spending a little more upfront saves you from buying the same thing twice. So let's wrap it up. Maximum output and smart features with whisper quiet operation. GoveeLife Pro, absolute beast. Restaurant quality ice in a stunning package. GE Opal, just commit to filtered water and regular descaling. Best balance of price, reliability, and everyday usability. Euhomy, where most people should start. Softest, most tooth-friendly ice for dedicated chewers. Ecozy, hands down. Tight on space. Kismile fits where nothing else can. Pure budget play with big output. Silonn gets it done without pretending to be something it's not. Every link is in the description. Check out whichever one fits your life. If this helped you out, a subscribe goes a long way. Cheers and enjoy the ice.